बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम अल्लाहुम्मा रब्बि ज़िदनी इल्मा सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम आमीन अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन. The topic of this lecture is important questions of integration. For this lecture, I am using the work of one of my best students, Ms. Sharika of class 2020, the Lyceum. An important advice for me and for everyone: we should be good to others. This is the list of questions of this book. Question number 1. The equation of a curve is this: y is equal to x power 4 plus 4x plus 9. Part 1. Find the coordinates of the stationary point on the curve and determine its nature. For a stationary point, you need to equate gradient to 0. So when you equate gradient to 0, then you will get the x coordinate of the stationary point. Then after getting the x coordinate of this stationary point, substitute this back into the equation of the curve to get the y coordinate of the turning point. This is the y coordinate of the turning point. And this is the stationary point -1, 6. For the nature of the turning point, you should find the second derivative. When you differentiate the first derivative, you will get the second derivative. It's 12x square. So you need to check the sign of the second derivative at this particular value of x. At x minus 1, the second derivative is positive, therefore this point is minimum. Part 2 of this question. Find the area of the region enclosed by the curve, the x-axis and the lines x0 and x1. These are the lower and upper limits. So since we need area between the curve and x-axis, therefore this is the formula, area formula. When the area is between the curve and the x-axis, it's y dx, limits a, b and y dx. So by substituting the values of a and b and the value of y into this formula, we have this thing. So by integrating this polynomial, this equation, we have this thing, and by applying the limits onto this equation, we have this area. It's 11.2. First you need to apply the upper limit and then put minus sign and then apply the lower limit. Question number 2. A curve is such that dy upon dx is k minus 2x, where k is a constant, given that the tangents to the curve at the points are perpendicular. This is the condition for perpendicular lines. So first you need to get the gradients of these two tangents at these values of x. So this is the gradient of first tangent and this is the gradient of the second tangent. By using this formula, which is the condition for perpendicular lines, we can have the value of k. It's 5. Part 2. Given also that the curve passes through the point, find the equation of the curve. This is so simple, you just need to integrate this gradient and then use this point and you have the value of k. So by substituting the value of k here, we have this gradient equation. When you will integrate this side, it will become y, and this side will become 5x minus x square plus c. By substituting the values of x and y, which is 4 and 9 over here, we can get the value of c. By substituting the value of c back into this equation, we can have the equation of the curve. Question number 3. Again, we have to find the equation of the curve. So by integrating this gradient at this point, we can get the equation of the curve. So when you will integrate this thing, you will get y. You need to bring this under root x in numerator. So by integrating this function, we have 3x power half over half, and this x will become minus x square upon 2. By substituting 4 and 6 into this equation, we can have the value of c, which is 2. Now substitute c back into this equation to get the equation of the curve. Question number 4. The function is such that first we need f prime x and explain why f is a decreasing function. This is so simple. By differentiating this, we can get f prime x. So first you need to bring this in numerator, and this is the composite algebraic function. When you will differentiate this power will become coefficient, and subtract this power by -1. This power will become -2 after the differentiation, and the differential of this bracket is 2. This is the simplified form of f prime x. Since this f prime x is negative for all values of x except this, because of this negative sign, this f prime x will always be negative. So this function is a decreasing function. Well, the second part is the expression for f inverse x. You all know how to get the f inverse. First, replace f of x by y and make x the subject, and then replace x by f inverse and y by x. You all know how to find f inverse. Now this part 3 is find the volume coordinate axis. Coordinate axis means x and y axis, meaning the lower limit is 0. Whenever it says coordinate axis, that means this one. This means coordinate axis, x and y axis, and x is 2. This is x2 about the x axis. So this is the formula of volume when you I'm sorry, when you need volume of the curve between the curve and x-axis. When the curve is rotated 360 degree about the x-axis, we use this formula. This is the lower limit and this is the upper limit, and this is y square. This is y, get its square. So this power 2 is for both, for 3 and for this expansion. Bring this line outside the integral to make the integration simple, and then integrate this linear expansion. This expansion is linear. When you will integrate this power will become -1. -1 will be in denominator, and this differential is multiplying with -1. Therefore, we have -2 here. And by applying the limits into this, we can get the volume. Make sure you give your answer in terms of pi. The formula is very important, and the integration is important as well. You must know how to integrate this function. If you want to take the screenshot of this question, you can take it now. Well, question number 5. In question number 5, the question is get this area. This is so simple. You have two options. Either you subtract area of rectangle from area of the curve, or you can do area of line minus area of the curve, like area of curve minus area of line. So you have both the options. This student is using the first option, like she is subtracting area of rectangle from area of the curve minus rectangle. But before that, you need to solve these two equations to get the x coordinates of these 2 points of intersection. This is the working, and these are the x coordinates. It's 1 and 5. So curve will give you the entire area under the curve or between the curve and x-axis. So subtract the area of rectangle from the area of the curve. So curve minus rectangle. This is the curve, and this is the rectangle, area of rectangle. You all know how to integrate this. This is 6x square upon 2. After the simplification, it will become 3x square, and this is x cube over 3. You just need to apply limits here, and this will be the final answer. Leave your answer in terms of fraction, in the form of fraction. Question number 6. In question 6, we need equation of curve in the first part, and the second part we need a stationary point. I'm leaving this question. If you want to take the screenshot of this, you can, because this question is simple. In the first part, you just need to integrate the gradient and use this point to get the equation of the curve. In the second part, you need to equate gradient to 0, get the x coordinate, and check the nature of this turning point by substituting 4 into second derivative, its minimum. Now this question is of volume. The diagram shows part of the curve and we need this volume when the curve is rotated 360 degree about the x-axis. In fact, volume is given. We have to show this. Or volume is given when we need the value of A. We need this value of A. So this is the volume formula when the curve is rotated 360 degree about the x-axis. By substituting the value of y square here, we have this thing and volume is 24 pi. You can cancel these two pi's and then you just need to integrate this. Bring this a square outside the integral to make the integration simple. Bring this x square in numerator. The integration of x power minus 2 is minus 1 upon x. Just apply the limits here. First apply the upper limit and then put minus sign and then apply the lower limit. And this is the value of a. Since a is positive constant, therefore ignore the negative value. Just take positive value. In this question, formula is very important. Choose the right formula. Question number 8. In this question, we need the area of the shaded region. So we have two options. We can do line minus curve, or we can do area of trapezium minus area under the curve. We have both the options. So use line minus curve. It's better. First get the x coordinates, the x coordinates of the point of intersections of these two, like of A and B. X coordinates of A and B. This is the way to get the x coordinates of A and B. By equating these two y's, we can get the x coordinates. Now line minus curve. You can even do trapezium minus curve. It's your choice. This is the area under the line and this is the area under the curve. This is the linear function, so you can integrate this function directly by adding 1 in power and dividing the function by the resultant power. And this is the final answer. Now the next question, find the equation of the normal to the curve at P. Find the equation of the normal to the curve at P. This is so simple. You just need to substitute x over here to get the gradient of the tangent. This is the gradient of the tangent, and then take the inverse reciprocal of this gradient to get the gradient of the normal. The inverse reciprocal of the gradient of the tangent is the gradient of the normal, and this is the equation of the normal. Now this next part, find the equation of the curve. This is so simple. You just need to integrate this curve and use this point to get the value of c. When you will integrate this gradient, you will get y, and this will become 6 3x minus 2 power minus half. When you will integrate this thing, it will become 3x minus 2 whole power half. This half is here, and this differential is multiplying with half. This is the simplified form of this equation, and then by substituting the values of x and y, which is 2 and 11, we can have the value of c. And this is the equation of the curve. Here we need find the coordinates of A, B and M. M is the minimum point. You all know how to get the coordinates of minimum point. You just need to differentiate this curve and then equate gradient to 0 to get the coordinates of M. And for A and B, you just need to solve these two equations simultaneously because these are the intersection points of curve and line. So by equating these two y's, we can have the values of x coordinates of A and B, and by substituting these values over here, we can get the values of y coordinates of A and B. So these are A and B. For M, we need to differentiate this curve. So this is the differentiation. This is the differential of this curve. And by equating gradient to 0, we have x2 and y is 4. and this is the coordinates of M. Now the second part, find the volume obtained when the shaded region is rotated 360 degree about the x-axis. This is so simple. Shaded region is basically, this region is between line and curve. So you need to use this volume rotated by line and by curve minus curve. So curve minus line minus curve. So use this formula, line minus curve. So make sure you use the right formula. Limits are 1 and 4, and this is the equation of the line in square form, and this is the equation of the curve in square form. So by integrating this and this and by applying the limits, we can have the volume. The limits are 1 and 4. This is 1. And this is 4. This question is very simple. We just need to expand this expansion because this expansion is non-linear. This is the expanded form of this expansion, and then you can just integrate this. This will become x cubed, bring this in numerator, and the integration of x minus 2 is minus 1 upon x. Make sure you always expand the non-linear expansions. The equation of a curve is this. Find an expression for dy upon dx and determine with the reason whether the curve has any stationary points. So this is the expression for dy upon dx. Now by equating this to 0, we have this thing. When you will equate this to 0, you'll get this thing and you'll get this thing. 9 cannot be 0. 9 cannot be equal to 0. So no turning point. Since we have no value of x, therefore no turning point. Coordinate axis means the lower limit is 0 and the upper limit is 1. You just need to use a volume formula, and this is the volume of rotation when the curve is rotated 360 degree about the x-axis. So this 9 will become 81. Bring this outside the integral, and then the integration of this will be 2 minus x power minus 1. This minus 1 is here, and the differential of this is minus 1. By applying the limits, you can get the answer. Last part, find the set of values of k for which this line intersects the curve at two distinct points. Two distinct points means b square minus 4ac greater than 0. So first get the standard quadratic equation by equating these two y's, and then use this discriminant. Since we have greater signs, so the answer will be k greater than 4 and k less than minus 8, because this region is required. We did this thing in quadratics. In this question, we need, number 1, we need the equation of this line AB. Number 1, get the coordinates of A and B. For A, you just need to equate this curve to, you just need to substitute x0 into this equation of the curve, because at A, x is 0. So by substituting x0 here, we can get the coordinates of the point A. This is A. And B is simple. This is 5. So by substituting 5 here, we can get the y coordinate. 5 here, we can get the y coordinate. So this is the coordinates of B. Now we need equation of this line AB. Since we have both the coordinates of A and B, so we can easily get the equation. First get the gradient and then get the equation. Now the second part, find the volume. This is so simple. It should be line minus curve. Volume of line minus volume of curve. So this is the volume of line and this is the volume of curve. This is the integration of the this equation, and you need to bring this here and then integrate this. You need to practice more questions so that you will be good at the integration of these type of functions. This is the final answer. Well, this question is simple. First, you need to solve this equation, and then you need the area, which will be this curve minus this curve. Tangents are parallel, meaning you just need to equate their gradients. I'm leaving this question since this question is simple. This is the rates of change. We did this in differentiation. The volume of a spherical balloon is increasing at a constant rate of 50 cm3 per second. So spherical balloon means volume of a sphere, and dV upon dt is 50. This quantity is 50. By differentiating this volume with respect to r, we can get the value of dV upon dr, and r is given, it's 10. So by substituting the values of dV upon dr and dV upon dt into chain rule, we can get the value of dr upon dt. In this question, first we need to sketch the curve. This is so simple. This is the happy phase with turning point 2, 0. Make sure you mention the y-intercept as well. This is the part 1. Now we need the volume between the coordinate axis and this point. So 0 and 2 are the limits, and the integration of this is this, and that's the volume. We need this volume between the coordinate axis. X-axis and y-axis means coordinate axis, meaning this volume. This question is simple, so I'm leaving this. This is also a simple question. This question is also very simple. Coordinates of A, you just need to equate y to 0 and get the x coordinates. For M, you just need to differentiate this curve and equate gradient to 0. For volume, use this formula. This one. And use limit 0 and 16 because the x coordinate of A is 16. Question number 20, first part is simple. Equation of the curve. By integrating this gradient and using this point, we can get the equation of the curve. It's here. Find the coordinates of a stationary point. By equating gradient to 0, we can get the coordinates of the stationary points. These are the coordinates of the stationary points. Nature is simple. By differentiating this, we can get the second derivative, and by observing the sign of second derivative at this particular value of x, we can get the nature. Its maximum. Now the last part of this question, the normal to the curve at P makes an angle tan inverse K. The normal to the curve, first get the gradient of the normal. By substituting 9 over here, we can get the gradient of tangent, and by taking the inverse reciprocal of the gradient of the tangent, we can get the gradient of the normal. The gradient of the normal is 3. And this is the formula between the normal and x-axis. We use this formula when we need angle between line and x-axis. So by taking tan inverse of this, we have theta tan inverse m. Since gradient of normal is 3, so it will be tan inverse 3. So K is 3. The value of m is 3. And this is the first question in which we need volume between the curve and y-axis. Well, for coordinates of B and C, C is the coordinate of the y coordinate of C is given, it's 3. So by substituting 3 here, we can get the x coordinate. So coordinates of C are 4 and 3, and now we need coordinates of B. This is simple. This is on the y-axis. So by substituting x0, we can get the y coordinate. It's 0 and 1. Equation of the normal at C is very simple. By differentiating this equation of curve, we can get the gradient of tangent. This is the gradient of the tangent at x4, and this is the gradient of the normal, which is the inverse reciprocal of the gradient of the tangent. This is the equation of the normal. Now we need a volume when the curve is rotated, when the shaded region is rotated between about y-axis in fact. So for that we need these limits 0 and 1. This is the formula of the volume. So first make sure you make the x subject from this equation, because here we need x square. This is the x, and get the value of x square by squaring this thing. And this is the way to get the volume. I will continue this lecture after the adhan. So by substituting the value of x square into this formula, we can get the volume. The integral of this. This is the integration of this function. First apply the limits, get the simplified form, and this is the volume of the shaded region about the y-axis. This question is simple. This is the repeated question. Again, we need volume when the shaded region is rotated 360 degree about the y-axis, and area as well. For area, you have two options. You can do area under the curve minus triangle, area of triangle. Or you have the second option, area under the curve minus area under the line. This student use area under the curve minus area of triangle. And this is the area. The answer is 2 upon 3 minus half means 4. I think this will become 4 minus 3 upon 6, so 1 upon 6. Now for volume, do this. Area under the curve minus area under the, volume under the curve, volume rotated by curve, and volume rotated by the line. So curve minus line. Curve minus line. And use y-axis. Limits of y-axis should be there, 0 and 1. Make sure you make the x subject. This is the x from the curve, and this is the x from the line. Always use right formula whenever they ask find volume about the y-axis. This is the nonlinear function, so expand this, and you can integrate this function directly. You have option. You can either integrate this directly by adding 1 in power, or you can expand this. You have option. It's better to integrate this directly. And here you need to expand this, because this is the nonlinear function. You cannot integrate this function directly. You always expand nonlinear functions. Well, this question is simple. I'm leaving this. Again, simple question. Again they said find the volume of shaded region, this volume about y-axis. So the limits are 1 and 2, and this is the x. So use this formula, pi ab x square dy. This is the nonlinear function. First expand this and then integrate this. This is the equation of the curve. Simple. I'm leaving this. This is also very simple. I'm only taking the important questions now. In this question, they are asking find the equation of the tangent to the curve at A. This is simple. Get the differential of this curve and then gradient at x3. This is the gradient of the tangent and this is the equation of the tangent. Now they are saying determine showing all your necessary workings whether C is near to B or to O. This is so simple. First get the coordinates of C. C is the point of intersection of this tangent and this y-axis, or you can say C lies on the tangent. So get the coordinates of C. Now just check this distance. This is 5/3 and check this distance. This should be this is 4/3. So C is near to B then O. You can say B is nearer to C. C is nearer to B than O, because this distance is 4/3 whereas this distance is 5/3. This distance is larger and this distance is smaller. Now for volume, you just need to use these limits 0 and 3 and get the volume. Bring this 81 outside the integral to make the integration simple. This is the integration of this expansion and that's the volume. Now this concept is very important. Find the stationary value of this function. Stationary value means, well, stationary value means the value of the subject of the equation, the value of the the y coordinate of the turning point, or you can say it is stationary value means the vertical coordinate of the turning point. So when you will equate this y, the gradient of this curve to 0, you'll get x coordinate. By substituting x coordinate here, you can get the y coordinate of the turning point, and this y coordinate of the turning point is known as the stationary value. So whenever they ask find the stationary value, always get the gradient of the given thing and then equate the gradient to 0, get the x coordinate and substitute x coordinate back into the equation and get the y coordinate. What if the question is find the stationary value of dy upon dx? So to get the stationary value of dy upon dx, you need to equate the gradient of this quantity. The gradient of dy upon dx is d2y over dx2. Get the x coordinate and substitute x here and get the stationary value of this function dy upon dx. If they ask find the nature of this stationary value, then you need to differentiate this. Get the third differential. For the nature of this stationary value, get this third differential, d3y dx3, and then observe the third differential at this particular value of x. It's positive, so minimum value. This is the second differential. When you differentiate this again, you will get the third differential. This concept is very important. If you want to take the screenshot of this, you can. In this question, they ask get the stationary value of this function. To get the stationary value of this function, get its differential and then equate the differential to 0. Get the x coordinate, substitute x back into this equation and get the stationary value. For the nature of this stationary value, get the third differential and observe the sign of third differential at x16. its minimum. Now question number 31. In this question we first need the value of a. It says state the value of a. Since a is on x-axis, so y coordinate is 0, so x is 2. And for the coordinates of b, or for the value of b, this is the maximum point. You need to differentiate this. First expand this. This is the expanded form of this function. Get its differential, equate the gradient to 0, and get the x coordinate, which is 2 upon 3. So b is 2 upon 3 because a is 2. Now we need area of shaded region. This is simple, so you just need to integrate this curve from 0 to 2. So this is the area. Now this part 4 is very important. The gradient dy upon dx of the curve has a minimum value. Now this is very important. Find the value of m. This function has minimum value, means you need to differentiate this. When you will differentiate gradient, you'll get second derivative, equate second derivative to 0, get the x coordinate, and substitute x back into this and get the minimum value of this gradient, which is minus 4 upon 3. This sketch is not compulsory. This is just for your conceptual clarity, that this 4 upon 3 is here and this minus 4 upon 3 is here, and here dy upon dx. This sketch is of dy upon dx, and this is the stationary value of dy upon dx. You don't need to get the nature of this stationary value because it's not required. If they ask find the nature of this stationary value, this nature, then you have to differentiate this again, get the third differential, which is not required in this question. The question is just get the minimum value of this. This will be the last question of this lecture. Find the coordinates of B and C. Well, B is on tangent and C is on normal. It's mentioned the tangent cuts the x-axis, the tangent at A cuts the x-axis at B, and normal at A cuts the y-axis at C. For B and C, first get the equations of tangent and normal. This is the equation of the tangent. By substituting y0, we can get the coordinates of B. And first now get the equation of normal. This is the equation of the normal, and by equating x0, we can get the coordinates of C. Now we need the distance AC, which is so simple. Use distance formula and get the answer. It's here. Now the last part, we need area, this area. Be careful. You have two options. You can do area under the curve minus area of triangle, or you can do area under the curve minus area under the line. You can use either option. This student use this option, area under the curve minus area under the line. Curve minus line, and this is the answer. Let me check if anything is important left. You will see the questions are repeated. I mean, the questions are repeated. This question is important. The first part, we need angle between two tangents. For that, you should first get the gradient of these two tangents. So by differentiating these two curves and substituting x2, we can get the gradients of these two tangents. This is the gradient of first tangent, and this is the gradient of the second tangent. The larger gradient is always m1, and the smaller gradient is always m2. To get this angle between two tangents, angle is between two tangents, use this formula. We use this formula when we need angle between two lines. This formula is tan theta m1 minus m2 1 plus m1 m2. and in this formula m1 is greater than m2. The larger gradient is always as m1 and the smaller gradient is always considered as m2. By substituting the values of m1 and m2 into this formula and by taking the tan inverse, we can get the answer. Now this is so simple. Area of large, area under this curve minus area under this curve. If you want to take the screenshot of this question, you can. This question is very simple. You need volume of shaded region about the y-axis. So use the formula of y-axis. This is the volume when the curve is rotated about the y-axis. Make sure you make x square subject. This is x square. That's the answer. This question is also very simple. By solving these two equations simultaneously, we can get the coordinates of A and B, and area simple, curve minus trapezium or line. This student use curve minus line, which is fine. This will be the last question. Find the coordinates of B. B is the point of intersection of this line and this line. So first get the equation of this line, which is normal. It's mentioned. So this is the equation of the normal. By substituting x4 into equation of normal, we can get the coordinates of B. Now the last part, we need to prove that these two areas are same. So area of P is very simple. Area under this curve is area of P. So you can get the area of P by finding area under this curve. This is the area of P. And area of Q is very simple. It should be, see, Q plus P is trapezium. Q plus P is trapezium. Sorry, it's Q plus P. This is trapezium. So Q is area of trapezium minus area of curve P. So this is area of trapezium minus area of P. That's the final answer. And both areas are same. I hope this lecture will help you all to understand the important questions, how to solve the questions of integration. If you practice more, it depends on your practice. You cannot be good at math without practicing. So make sure you practice most of the questions so that you will be good at any topic of the math, especially integration. Allah Hafiz.